when the realms of knowledge entwine with the whispers of yore. 6 ancient brews that doth enhance the flow of life to thy hands and feet. If thou dost frequently perceive the chill of hands and feet, the tingling of thy legs after but an hour of repose, the sudden appearance of azure veins, or the sluggish flow of thy circulation, this moving picture is crafted for thee. Though compression socks and gentle ambulations serve as worthy companions, there exists a most delightful and straightforward means to bolster thy circulation. What dost thou imbibe? Forsooth, through the ages, the wise healers of yore did possess knowledge that the modern scholars now strive to comprehend. Verily, certain warm potions doth greatly enhance the circulation to our limbs, be they legs, feet, arms, or hands, particularly as the sands of time do trickle, and the flow of blood doth wane. Lo, the realm of science doth now affirm their efficacy. From spices that soothe the senses to brews rich in the essence of life, behold 6 ancient potions that have withstood the relentless march of time, each a testament to the art of fostering healthy blood flow, ensuring warmth and nourishment for thy hands and feet. What dost thou deem the finest portion? They are not merely beneficial to thy health, but truly a delight to the palate. Pray, before we embark upon this journey, take heed, for all the knowledge contained within this visual tale is wrought by true souls, meticulously examined, free from partiality, and scrutinized by those of esteemed qualification. 1. Ginger tea, a potion of yore, hath ginger, the healing root, been cherished for over 5 millennia. In days of yore, the venerable cultures of India and China did employ it as a remedy most natural for a multitude of health afflictions. In days of yore, ginger hath been employed to fortify the body's defenses against the chill of colds and the scourge of flu. Ginger doth persist as a cherished element in the ancient art of Chinese healing, fostering the vigor of yang energy. A study conducted in the year of our Lord 2018 did reveal that imbibing ginger did assist the fairer sex, whose hands were chilled, in maintaining warmth in their palms for a longer duration than that of a mere placebo. Thus, if thy hands dost ever feel the chill of winter's breath, a cup of ginger tea may provide thee solace. Moreover, ginger doth harbor within its roots the noble gingerol and shogols, compounds of great virtue that aid in the abatement of inflammation and the enhancement of blood's gentle flow, rendering it most advantageous for those who suffer from tingling sensations born of languid circulation. Studies do declare that ginger may aid in the lowering of blood pressure and cholesterol, whilst soothing the vessels of the blood and thwarting the formation of clots, thus fortifying the health of the vascular realm. A daily draught of ginger tea doth generally pose no peril for the majority. Yet shouldst thou be under the influence of blood thinners, or suffer from ailments of bleeding or gallbladder, it is wise to seek the counsel of a physician ere thou makest it a custom. In the morn's gentle light or the soft embrace of mid-afternoon, the finest hour to partake of ginger tea doth arrive, a half-hour ere or after the repast, for it may bestow a subtle vigor upon the spirit. When thou dost embark upon thy quest for provisions, choose the fresh root of ginger, for it doth offer greater potency and the bounteous gifts of antioxidants, far surpassing its powdered kin. Seek ye out rhizomes, firm and smooth, devoid of wrinkles or the taint of mold. To prepare, let the delicate slices of ginger dance in the embrace of hot water, simmering gently for a span of 10 to 15 minutes, shunning the tempest of a fierce boil that might rob it of its noble virtues. For greater boon, ponder the addition of lemon, honey, or a sprinkle of cinnamon's grace. There be those who find delight in the union of ginger tea with green tea, or in the addition of fresh mint leaves, a fragrant touch to their brew. As for substitutes, turmeric, lemongrass, or cardamom tea may bestow akin warming effects upon the weary soul. Secondly, green tea, a brew of verdant hue, doth possess a lineage steeped in the annals of tradition, cherished in the realms of Chinese and Indian healing arts. Healers of yore have employed it to enhance the vigor of the heart, mend the wounds of the flesh, and combat a multitude of chronic afflictions. In these latter days, green tea hath garnered a noble reputation as a veritable champion of circulation, owing to its wondrous antioxidant known as catechins, with particular praise bestowed upon EGCG, or Epigallocatechin gallate. Secondly, green tea, a brew of verdant hue, doth possess a lineage steeped in the annals of tradition, cherished in the realms of Chinese and Indian healing arts. Healers of yore have employed it to enhance the vigor of the heart, mend the wounds of the flesh, and combat a multitude of chronic afflictions. In these latter days, green tea hath garnered a noble reputation as a veritable champion of circulation, owing to its wondrous antioxidant known as catechins, with particular praise bestowed upon EGCG, or Epigallocatechin gallate. EGCG doth aid in the preservation of blood vessel health and doth foster the production of nitric oxide, which doth relax and expand the vessels of the blood. Studies doth reveal that EGCG, in its essence, can take on the guise of insulin, aiding in the reduction of insulin resistance and fostering the maintenance of wholesome blood sugar levels. Verily, such tidings bring joy, for diabetes doth serve as a foremost harbinger of affliction to the nerves in hands, feet, and legs, oft resulting in torment, a tingling sensation, or a waning of strength. Moreover, the essence of EGCG, drawn from the verdant leaves of green tea, doth reveal promise in the noble struggle against obesity and the trials of metabolic syndrome, rendering this elixir a most commendable choice for those who have crossed the threshold of 50 summers. 1 to 4 cups each day doth suit the majority of souls most excellently. Thou mayest partake of up to 8 cups in a single day, each chalice containing approximately 30 to 40 milligrams of that invigorating elixir known as caffeine. And verily, most souls ought to strive for naught beyond 300 to 400 milligrams each day. Yet those who possess a delicate constitution towards caffeine ought to confine their indulgence to the morn or early afternoon, lest they invite the specter of sleeplessness upon their slumber. In those of robust health, the essence of caffeine doth linger within the veins for a span of 5 hours, yet this duration may vary from 1.5 to 9.5 hours. Pray, refrain from partaking of green tea as the sun doth wane in the sky. Lo, the verdant brew of tea, green as the lushest glade, may hinder the noble absorption of iron. Thus, it is wise to partake of it betwixt repasts rather than in their company. Those who bear the burden of particular heart ailments or partake of remedies for blood pressure ought to seek counsel from their physician, to discern whether a moderation of their consumption is requisite. Though infrequent, there be those who hath suffered ailments of the stomach and liver following the ingestion of green tea extract pills. If thou dost suffer from affliction of the liver, employ these potions with great circumspection, and partake instead of the purest green tea from nature's bounty. Lo, the verdant brew of tea doth present itself in myriad forms, and shouldst thou seek to elevate thy experience, we wouldst counsel thee to embrace the loose leaf variety, forsaking the humble tea bag. Though tea bags dost offer convenience, they oft contain leaves of lesser quality, and the processing may well diminish those wondrous antioxidants, such as polyphenols. Oftentimes, the more precise the appellation of the tea, the loftier the quality doth rise. Forsooth, a label of humble green tea oft signifies simplicity, or perchance a lesser quality, whilst the esteemed Japanese green tea may present itself as a shade more refined. Verily, Gyokuro doth seem to possess a quality yet more sublime. The secret to the finest green tea doth reside in the warmth of the water's embrace. Employ water at a temperature of 170 degrees Fahrenheit, or 75 degrees Celsius, avoiding the boiling point, and let it steep for but 2 to 3 minutes, that thou mayest evade bitterness and safeguard the beneficial essences therein. The nature of the water doth also bear significance. Water, devoid of excess minerals and bearing a pH most neutral, doth serve splendidly for the infusion of green tea. When the pH doth rise, the noble EGCG, that active essence which doth aid the flow of blood, doth suffer oxidation and degradation. Yet, when the pH doth fall, the fragrant notes of the tea may be diminished. Green tea doth harmonize splendidly with a dash of lemon's zest, a hint of honey's sweetness, or a sprig of mint, fresh as the morn's dew. Some partake of it with a modest slice of ginger or a slender stick of cinnamon. For those who doth seek alternatives, white tea doth present akin benefits with lesser caffeine, whilst oolong, red, black tea, or matcha, each doth bring their own unique and delightful flavors to thy cup, still replete with the virtues of EGCG. Dost thou find pleasure in our moving picture thus far? If thou art so inclined, bestow upon us a token of thy favor by granting a like, and we shall craft further creations of this ilk. 3. Hibiscus tea, a brew of crimson hue and tangy taste, hath found favor in the annals of ancient remedies, cherished by diverse cultures throughout the ages. In lands of India, Africa, and Mexico, the brews of Hibiscus calices dost serve to soothe the troubled belly and quell the fiery fever's grasp. In Egypt, the hibiscus flower hath been cherished through the ages for the well-being of the heart and the nerves, as well as for the cooling of the body's fervent heat. In the realm of ancient Chinese healing arts, the hibiscus flower doth find its place, employed for the ailments of the liver and the afflictions of elevated blood pressure. Research hath revealed that hibiscus tea, abundant in anthocyanins, doth aid in the lowering of blood pressure, a principal culprit in the lamentable flow of blood to the legs and feet. These compounds doth also encourage the widening of vessels, whilst aiding in the diminishment of inflammation, thus securing a constant flow of blood to thy hands and feet. In a discourse upon the examination of 17 trials most clinical, it was discovered that the hibiscus, in its essence, did greatly diminish the pressure of the blood, its efficacy akin to that of medicinal remedies. Hibiscus, that noble flower, hath proven itself a worthy foe to LDL, the villainous cholesterol, vanquishing it with greater prowess than other brews or mere placebos. This discourse doth also propose that hibiscus may aid in diminishing the peril of maladies of the heart and vessels. To partake in the delightful brew of hibiscus tea, 2 to 3 cups each day doth prove safe for most. Yet 'tis wise to commence with but a single cup, and then, in time, increase the measure. Those who possess a lowly measure of blood's pressure, who partake of potions for the regulation of such, or for the management of diabetes, or who are under the influence of thinning agents, ought to tread with care and seek the counsel of their physician, for the hibiscus may indeed serve to diminish further the pressure of the blood or the sweetness therein. Moreover, the hibiscus flower may hinder the absorption and efficacy of chloroquine, a remedy chiefly employed to avert and combat malaria. Thus, it is wise to shun their simultaneous consumption. In the fairest hours of mid-morning, or the gentle embrace of early afternoon, one may partake in this invigorating draught, yet let it be known, to indulge near the twilight of day may stir mild diuretic effects, best avoided as the night draws near. When thou dost seek to acquire hibiscus, cast thine eyes upon whole dried blossoms or fine tea bags, marked as pure hibiscus or hibiscus subdarifa of the highest quality. Let them steep in the boiling waters for a span of 5 to 10 minutes, yet take heed not to surpass this fleeting moment, lest they turn excessively tart. To temper its sharpness, ponder the addition of honey, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a dash of orange or apple juice. Hibiscus tea doth harmonize splendidly with the verdant mint or a whisper of ginger's warmth. Some find delight in its union with the verdant brew of tea. Should hibiscus be absent, then rosehip tea or pomegranate tea may likewise bestow upon thee the boon of circulation-supporting virtues, drawn from the rich well of anthocyanins. 4. Lo, the tea infused with the fiery cayenne, a treasure long cherished by the noble Native Americans, hath served as both sustenance and remedy for nigh on 9,000 years. Cayenne hath also found its place in the ancient arts of healing, embraced by the sages of Ayurvedic, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean traditions, to mend the flow of circulation and to soothe the pangs of pain. Lo, capsaicin, that potent essence which doth bestow upon peppers their fiery zest, doth aid in the reduction of blood's pressure, and summon forth the release of nitric oxide. This doth aid the vessels of blood to relax and expand, thus enhancing the delivery of oxygen to the farthest reaches. Capsaicin doth also summon forth a flow of calcium, which doth aid thy blood vessels in their noble task, combating inflammation and purging the cholesterol that doth linger within the arteries. This doth render it a most splendid choice for those who suffer from the chill of hands and feet, a plight born of languid circulation. Thanks to the compound known as capsaicin, this tea infused with cayenne doth possess mild properties to relieve pain, and may serve to diminish inflammation within thy circulatory system. Commence with but a single cup each day, most fitting in the morn, and with time, shouldst thou wish, increase to 2 cups. Those who suffer from the afflictions of acid reflux, ulcers, or delicate digestive constitutions should steer clear of this brew. It is likewise ill-advised for those who partake of blood-thinning potions, or for those who face impending surgical endeavors. In the morn, 'tis most fitting to partake, for the gentle stir of vigor may disrupt the slumber if consumed too late in the day. It is of utmost significance to observe that capsaicin doth influence the vessels of blood in a dual manner. It may expand their bounds or draw them tight. Lo, inflammation, entwined with the burden of excess flesh, doth render blood vessels more susceptible to the fiery touch of capsaicin, perchance ushering forth perilous constriction, disturbances of the heart's cadence, or even the dire specter of a heart's demise. Thus, those beset by ailments of the heart or fiery inflammation ought to seek the counsel of their physicians and partake of capsaicin with due moderation. For some, partaking of capsaicin's fiery essence may prove a formidable trial. Many a soul doth find it overly piquant or excessively potent, and the capsules of capsaicin may bring forth discomfort to the stomach's tender lining. If thou canst not abide the flavor, ponder upon black pepper tea, herbal brews infused with chili's fiery essence, or ginger tea with but a mere whisper of cayenne's heat. For those who find it difficult to imbibe the fiery essence of capsaicin directly, patches may serve as a worthy alternative to alleviate the aches of muscle and joint. Yet beware, for they oft bear a heavy price and may inflict a fleeting discomfort upon application. Ointments and balms infused with capsaicin dost present another remedy for the alleviation of enduring pain. Those who take delight in the fiery fare may also incorporate the zest of cayenne powder into their repast. Procure thy cayenne pepper from esteemed purveyors of spices, seeking the vibrant hue of crimson and scrutinizing the dates of freshness. For thine preparation, take but a mere pinch, roughly 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon, of cayenne per cup of hot water, allowing it to steep for 5 to 10 minutes alongside a slice of lemon. Do not subject the cayenne to the fervent embrace of boiling, for such an act may unleash bitter essences most unkind. This warming brew doth harmonize splendidly with a hint of raw honey, the zest of fresh ginger, or a fragrant cinnamon stick. There be those who find delight in the addition of a slice of orange or a mere few drops of apple cider vinegar. Forsooth, turmeric hath stood as a revered remedy for nigh upon 4 millennia. In days of yore, the wise practitioners of Ayurveda and Unani, with their ancient tomes, did employ it for a multitude of ills, as scrolls from the year of our Lord 250 attest, prescribing it for the bane of food poisoning. In the land of India, it doth serve to cleanse the blood and to illuminate the visage. In the realm of ancient healing arts, the wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine doth employ it to soothe the pangs of the belly, whilst the practitioners of Unani medicine do harness its power to dispel phlegm and enhance the flow of life's vital currents. In this present day, the realm of science doth lend credence to the virtues of turmeric, as many a study from the past 3 decades hath unveiled its prowess in fostering healthy circulation and bestowing further bounties upon health. It is likewise ill-advised for those who partake of blood-thinning potions, or for those who face impending surgical endeavors. In the morn, 'tis most fitting to partake, for the gentle stir of vigor may disrupt the slumber if consumed too late in the day. It is of utmost significance to observe that capsaicin doth influence the vessels of blood in a dual manner. It may expand their bounds or draw them tight. Lo, inflammation, entwined with the burden of excess flesh, doth render blood vessels more susceptible to the fiery touch of capsaicin, perchance ushering forth perilous constriction, disturbances of the heart's cadence, or even the dire specter of a heart's demise. Thus, those beset by ailments of the heart or fiery inflammation ought to seek the counsel of their physicians and partake of capsaicin with due moderation. For some, partaking of capsaicin's fiery essence may prove a formidable trial. Many a soul doth find it overly piquant or excessively potent, and the capsules of capsaicin may bring forth discomfort to the stomach's tender lining. If thou canst not abide the flavor, ponder upon black pepper tea, herbal brews infused with chili's fiery essence, or ginger tea with but a mere whisper of cayenne's heat. For those who find it difficult to imbibe the fiery essence of capsaicin directly, patches may serve as a worthy alternative to alleviate the aches of muscle and joint. Yet beware, for they oft bear a heavy price, and may inflict a fleeting discomfort upon application. Ointments and balms infused with capsaicin does present another remedy for the alleviation of enduring pain. Those who take delight in the fiery fare may also incorporate the zest of cayenne. For countless ages hath turmeric been employed, both as a savory spice and a healing remedy, with naught but safety to commend its use. In studies both of man and beast, no toxic effects nor potential interactions have been discovered, even when administered in high doses. Yet, those who partake of blood thinners, antidepressants, or antibiotics must seek counsel from their physician ere they indulge in drink. In the twilight hours, when the day doth wane, the finest moment to partake of this golden elixir is upon thee, as it doth weave into a tranquil evening ritual, soothing the spirit and free from the grasp of caffeine's wakeful hand. Select thou the finest organic turmeric powder, or perchance, if fortune smiles upon thee, the fresh root of turmeric when it doth grace thy presence. Varied are the recommended intakes, with as much as 60 grams of fresh turmeric root consumed each day for the affliction of arthritis. To craft a latte of turmeric's golden hue, one finds the task most straightforward. Combine thou turmeric, be it in powder or root form, with warm milk or a substitute of the plant realm. To achieve the finest outcomes, thou must ever stow a mere pinch of black pepper. When joined in harmonious union with black pepper, the bioavailability of curcumin doth rise most significantly, rendering it yet more potent in the noble pursuit of enhancing the flow of blood to hands and feet. Moreover, ponder upon the addition of a wholesome fat, such as the noble coconut oil or the revered ghee, or partake of this latte alongside a meal rich in fat, that thou may enhance the absorption of curcumin's virtues. This soothing elixir doth harmonize splendidly with the spices of cinnamon, ginger, and cardamom, or perchance a whisper of vanilla's sweet embrace. Some do delight in bestowing a gentle drizzle of honey, or a sprightly dash of nutmeg upon their fare. For those who find turmeric's embrace unfit, ponder instead a potion of saffron's gentle kiss, a golden elixir of ginger's warmth, or a nectar of carrot, spiced with the essence of warmth. For those who seek the truth in evidence, the studies that lend credence to our assertions are graciously bestowed within the link found in our description box. 6. Since the year of our Lord 2800 before Christ, hath cinnamon been employed for the art of healing, captivating the minds of scholars through the ages. Recent inquiries doth suggest that cinnamon may bestow its virtues upon the ailments of Parkinson's, diabetes, the heart's well-being, and the faculties of the mind. In the days of yore, when Rome did flourish, cinnamon held a worth most precious indeed. Pliny the Elder, a celebrated naturalist of Rome, whose quill did scribe the vast tome of natural history in the 1st century of our era, did observe that a pound was valued at 300 denarii, a sum akin to nearly 10 months' toil for the common man. Pliny didst also reckon it to be 5-fold more costly than silver in weights measure. The noble compounds of cinnamon, namely cinnamaldehyde and cinnamic acid, dost fortify the health of the vessels, enhancing the production of nitric oxide whilst diminishing the flames of inflammation. Lo, cinnamon, that fragrant spice, mayhap doth aid in the lowering of cholesterol, the sweetening of blood's essence, and the gentle easing of vessels that carry life's vital flow. For those who cherish the dark elixir of life beyond the age of 5 decades, the addition of fragrant cinnamon to thy daily cup may greatly elevate its virtues of circulation and flavor, all whilst sparing thee from the clutches of superfluous sugar or cream. Thou needest but a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, to be added either to thy ground coffee ere the brewing, or sprinkled upon thy prepared cup of coffee. Partake of but 1 or 2 cups each day, and let it be in the morn's gentle light. Those who thus possess a sensitivity to caffeine, suffer from the pangs of acid reflux, or find themselves ensnared by anxiety, should contemplate a reduction in their caffeine consumption, or the selection of decaffeinated brews. Those who grapple with the trials of blood sugar must needs observe their reactions, for the spices of cinnamon and the brew of caffeine may sway the balance of their levels. Lo, cinnamon, that fragrant spice, mayhap doth aid in the lowering of cholesterol, the sweetening of blood's essence, and the gentle easing of vessels that carry life's vital flow. For those who cherish the dark elixir of life beyond the age of 5 decades, the addition of fragrant cinnamon to thy daily cup may greatly elevate its virtues of circulation and flavor, all whilst sparing thee from the clutches of superfluous sugar or cream. Thou needest but a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, to be added either to thy ground coffee ere the brewing, or sprinkled upon thy prepared cup of coffee. Partake of but 1 or 2 cups each day, and let it be in the morn's gentle light. Those who thus possess a sensitivity to caffeine suffer from the pangs of acid reflux, or find themselves ensnared by anxiety, should contemplate a reduction in their caffeine consumption, or the selection of decaffeinated brews. Those who grapple with the trials of blood sugar must needs observe their reactions, for the spices of cinnamon and the brew of caffeine may sway the balance of their levels. Verily, 'tis wise to partake of this potion in the morn, most fittingly after the breaking of the fast, to garner a boon of natural vigor. Shun it in the afternoon, lest it disturb thy slumber's sweet embrace. Choose ye high-quality, freshly roasted coffee beans, and Ceylon cinnamon, the true cinnamon, as opposed to the more prevalent cassia variety, which doth contain greater levels of coumarin. This fragrant blend doth harmonize splendidly with a whisper of vanilla, a dusting of cardamom, or a hint of nutmeg or cocoa's embrace. Some does take delight in the addition of a modest morsel of dark chocolate, or a gentle splash of almond milk. What to eschew when crafting elixirs to enhance the flow of blood? Comprehending that which to forego is as vital as discerning what to incorporate in thy potions that invigorate the circulation. Certain ingredients and errors in preparation may thwart their virtues and hinder the flow of life's vital essence. Oft doth one err by adding excessive sweetness, which may stir the fires of inflammation and cast a shadow upon the flow of circulation, diminishing its grace. If thou art afflicted with diabetes, take heed, for the surplus of sugar within thy veins may hinder the flow of thy blood. Verily, diabetes doth stand as the foremost harbinger of nerve affliction in the hands and feet, known as peripheral neuropathy, oft rendering the feet to feel naught but numb or beset with a tingling sensation. Artificial sweeteners, most notably aspartame, acetylfame potassium, and sucralose, along with high fructose corn syrup, ought to be curtailed, for they may, in the passage of time, cast a shadow upon the health of our vessels. Instead, choose ye natural sweeteners such as honey or stevia, but in moderation, I beseech thee. Lo, the dairy, especially that which is rich and whole, may indeed hinder the noble absorption of those most beneficial compounds, such as the valiant antioxidants found within certain potions. Pray, ponder upon the verdant growth. Favor a libation of richer creaminess. Oft do many err in their haste, preparing these elixirs of great worth at temperatures most fierce, thereby vanquishing the very compounds that bestow their virtues. Harsh extremes of heat may lay waste to both the cherished compounds of worth and the very workings of thy digestive realm. In the year of our Lord 2022, a review did grace the pages of the esteemed journal Frontiers in Nutrition, wherein the scholars did scrutinize 23 human studies, revealing 5,050 cases of esophageal cancer. They discovered that imbibing hot tea doth nearly double the peril of esophageal cancer. Another frequent folly in the crafting of warm libations lies in the mingling of these brews with processed elixirs, which may thwart their noble intent of enhancing the flow of life's vital essence. Verily, the hour is of utmost import. Partaking of these potions post-haste after a hearty repast may diminish their potency, for thy body doth turn its attention to the art of digestion. Lo, the potions of caffeine, such as the verdant brew of green tea, or the spiced elixir of cinnamon coffee, ought to be partaken in the morn, lest they disturb the slumbering hours. Yet, the soothing herbal infusions, like the crimson nectar of hibiscus or the warming embrace of ginger, are most fitting for the afternoon or the twilight's gentle embrace. To blend together a multitude of stimulating elements, such as the fiery cayenne and the invigorating caffeine, or the zestful cayenne and the piquant ginger within a single chalice, may indeed summon forth a tempest of digestive disquiet. Thus, it is wise to partake of them in solitude, rather than in unison. As the seasons doth shift, so too must thy manner of engaging with these potions. In the chill of winter's grasp, warming spices such as cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg dost invigorate the blood's flow, whilst in the sun's embrace, lighter, cooling herbs like hibiscus or mint may bring forth a refreshing balm. Pray, take heed to temper the vigor and warmth of thy libations, in accordance with the seasonal yearnings and responses of thy mortal frame. With these considerations held close to heart, thou shalt reap the utmost benefit from thy elixirs that quicken the flow of thy vital essence, whilst steering clear of the snares that lie in wait. In summation, to tend thy circulation post the age of 50 need not be a task of great complexity or discomfort. By artfully weaving our counseled warming draughts into thy daily custom, thou dost bestow upon thy body a natural boon for improved circulation to thy hands and feet. Pray, commence thy journey with but a single libation at the break of day, and heed well the whispers of thy body as it doth respond. Lo, the union of verdant tea, the fiery brew of cayenne, or the warm embrace of cinnamon coffee at dawn, followed by the floral notes of hibiscus, or the zest of ginger tea as the sun doth climb, and perchance a calming turmeric latte as twilight descends, mayhap shall weave for thee a most splendid ritual to nurture thy circulation. More tender methods of heating doth safeguard a greater abundance of noble compounds. Thus, one should strive to procure fresh and high-quality ingredients. Mark well this precious decree. 'Tis not the quest for perfection that doth matter, but the journey of progress that we undertake. These potions dost flourish most when they art woven into the tapestry of thy daily rites of well-being. The true strength doth arise from discovering 2 or 3 pursuits that bring thee joy, and weaving them into the fabric of thy daily existence. Attend to thine own vessel, modify the potencies and blends to please thy palate, and grant each novel libation a fortnight's time to reveal its virtues. If thou art presently under the influence of any potions or dost bear hidden ailments, a brief discourse with thy physician shall assure that thou art selecting the most fitting remedies for thy particular needs. Hark! We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all our esteemed subscribers and cherished viewers. Thy support doth inspire us to persist in the sharing of most precious content. Strike the bell, I prithee, and summon forth all notifications, that thou mayest never forgo a video that might save thy life. Thy circulation and the health of thy kidneys are more entwined than thou mayest perceive. Verily, the plight of poor circulation may oft be among the earliest heralds that thy kidneys doth require heed and care. As swift as the eye doth catch the fleeting shadow, So too must one discern the troubles of the kidneys. For in such timely recognition lies the power to wield dominion over their care. If thou art in doubt regarding the well-being of thy kidneys, and hast not been in fine fettle of late, I beseech thee, gaze upon the moving picture upon the screen. Herein we dost explore all the myriad symptoms, aiding thee in discerning the onset of kidney failure and taking swift action should the need arise. I shall behold thee there. Remain ever vigilant in thy quest for knowledge. Maintain thy health with utmost care.